Hello, so we are going to the next video of day 0 and we are going to cover how to use your Python interpreter for your Python codes and stuff. So looking to the right of the screen, that's of your screen, you will see that we have the IDLE Python 3.11 64-bit, then we have the Python 3.11 64-bit. So this one is the Python interpreter. Okay, Python is an interpreted language, meaning that when you write your code, the interpreter has to translate your codes into zeros and ones before it gets to the computer. Other programming languages such as C are compiled languages. It means that when you write your codes and you compile them, they are automatically translated into ones and zeros before and executed right away. But for Python, it still stays in, let me say, the high level language and converted into ones and zeros line by line and fed to the computer for the action to be executed. So this interpreter is responsible for doing that conversion. Take it as you speak English and the computer speaks French, and you have an interpreter that translates your English into French for the computer. In this case, French is the ones and zeros for the machine language, and English is the higher level language, which is the Python programming language we are dealing with. It's just an analogy, okay? But in actual sense, the languages we speak as humans is referred to as the natural language, okay? So once you launch the Python interpreter, it opens like just like the command prompt or the CLI interface, okay? And from here, whatever command you write in Python, it gets executed. For example, let's say print hello world, okay? Once I press enter, it executes the command, okay? So I can also say x is equal to 2, then y is equal to 3, or let's say 4. Then I maybe say print x plus y, and it executes the commands for me. So I keep on doing this and I can run as many commands as possible. So anytime I type a command, the interpreter translates it into ones and zeros, and the computer executes the action and it displays it on the screen for us. Now, somebody would ask, so how do we develop our software? Well, we'll go into that one later. But for now, just understand that this application is responsible for interpreting the codes that you write. So on the other hand, now let me exit from this software. So on the other hand, we have the IDLE. So the same way we use Microsoft Word, you use Microsoft Word to write a Word document. Similarly, you need an IDE, that is an IDE tool or a text editor usually used by programmers to write their softwares. So Python also provides an IDLE, integrated development and learning environment. So integrated development for learning environment, and this is the Python's IDE. So when you launch it, it comes along with some menu bar where you see file, edit, shell, debug, options, windows, and help. Just like in Microsoft Word, you see file, edit, insert, review, references, and so on and so forth. And it has the similar interface. Here too, when you type print hello world and you press enter, it gives you the results right away. If you also say x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4, and you type print x plus y, you get 6, just as we did with the interpreter. So this also runs just like the interpreter, okay? But then the advantage here is that it comes along with some colors, okay? And these colors, you understand the use of it when you get to use Python more often. These colors mean that the words you are seeing have special meanings or are playing different roles. For example, when I type print, as you can see, this is the word print and this is another word print, but both of them are not the same. This print is a string which we'll learn later on, and this print is the name of a function, and that is why they have different colors. Okay, and when I press enter, I see print, and this is the result, which also has a different color. It's just to help you be able to distinguish between the different kinds of words you are seeing and their meaning. You don't need to chew the colors in your head, you'll get used to it. But as it stands now, I just want you to know that the IDLE can be used to write simple Python scripts. But then it comes along with this toolbar where you can click on file and create a new file. Now this new file, the advantage of this new file is that instead of writing every line and running it, you can write them here together and send this file to a friend. And when the friend runs it, you get the result. For example, you could say, let's say name is equal to input. Name is equal to input. What is your name? Okay, then you close it and we say print hello, you are welcome to our Python programming class. Okay, you, let me just do something like this. I want to play around a little bit. Name. Okay, so hello, then the person's name. You are welcome to our Python programming class. So once I've written this code, I can save it as a file. Let me save it on my desktop and call it test. Okay, and it's a Python file. So then I save it and I close this. So you can see that I've created a Python file on my desktop called test. And once I run the test, I'm not calling you yet. So once I run the test, let me open it. Open with Python. Once I run the test, the interpreter takes over and functions as expected. So the interpreter is reading the codes in the file and interpreting it for our computer to use. Okay, so we have this. What is your name? Let's say Ojam, and it closes. Forget about it closing. Once the program ends, the interpreter is closed, and that's why it's closed quickly. If you want to see, sorry, if we want to see open, let us open the file again. And so this is the code we wrote. This is the code we wrote. Okay, so and let us put here input and close and open the bracket. This would make the computer stay. This will make the program stay until we press enter or a key before it shuts down, so that we can see our final result. Okay, so let me run this. Run module. So this time around I'm running it here. So when you type the name Ojam, you see that hello Ojam, you are welcome to our Python programming class. Okay, then the program comes to an end once I press an enter. So the advantage of the IDE, the IDLE, okay, the advantage of this IDLE is that it can help you write Python files that you can share with friends. Okay, and this interpreter helps you to interpret the file. So once you are done writing the file and you run it, this interpreter takes over and interprets the content of the file to your computer so that you can use. So it has to mean that when you are sharing this test file to a friend, the simple program you created to a friend, your friend has to install the Python interpreter. So this tool has to go to your friend's computer, and with the Python interpreter installed, then your friend can use this Python file. It's much like when you're when you're speaking in English to a French person who doesn't understand the English, the person will need an interpreter by him or her in order to understand the English. Similarly, when you are interpreting a Python code, the computer will need a Python interpreter to interpret the code. So they go together. But later on in this course, we'll show you how to compile this Python script into ones and zeros, such that when you send it to a friend's computer, the friend doesn't need to have the Python interpreter to get it run. So this is how you can use your IDLE and your Python interpreter. Bye. See you on the next video on how to use Visual Studio Code for Python programming.